Hey, good morning, Black Oak family. Breakfast with Black Oak edition coming into you. It should be in your inbox here at 7 a.m. Want to welcome all new clients, all existing clients. Thank you again for tuning in. We got a pretty interesting topic today that some of you are taking advantage of, and some of you are not of age to take advantage of, but it's definitely a strategy to potentially use. And what I am talking about, well, let me push pause for a second. Again, let me introduce myself, Ryan Ledden, president of Black Oak Asset Management. I don't want to assume that everyone knows who I am because you may work with a different advisor on our team. So again, you may work with Autumn, you may work with Parnick, you may work with Nick, Damon, Rick, or myself. So again, we're all on the same team here. Most of you know Andrea and have some sort of conversation, email exchange with her because she takes care of all of you out there. So one thing to take advantage of, and I got my notes here in front of me just to make sure because they change a little bit every single year. Those of you who are 70 and a half or older, and if you're not 70 and a half, don't tune me out because this may be something that you want your parents to maybe take advantage of. But this conversation came up in my men's small group. I go to Browns Bridge, which is obviously part of the North Point cluster. But in our small group, they're going through a series right now called Deeper and Wider. I think that's the name of it. I may be misquoting that a little bit, but and it's talking about charitable giving and kind of what we're pulled toward as far as our money management goes, and giving to charities, our churches, our nonprofit organizations, and then saving money and then spending money, which obviously most of us in America, we have that flipped upside down. We're all guilty of that sometimes. Is spending first and then saving and then giving if we have some left over. Anyway, so I'm not here to preach, but that's the content of what we were talking about. And my small group leader, and I asked him, I'm like, how much information are you guys putting out about qualified charitable distributions, or QCDs? Most of you may be like wondering what in the world is that. So you can Google search it if you want to, but I'll give you kind of high level what it is. So it's a way for you, and you can do this at 70 and a half. I get it. RMD ages are older now. They're 73. And for some of us one day, those of us who were born after 1960, our RMD age, or our required minimum distribution age, is going to be 75 years of age. And again, RMDs are distributions that you have to take that are required by the IRS in any pre-tax account that you have not paid tax on. So let's go to those individuals who are 70 and a half or older. What that is, if you take a required minimum distribution and maybe you don't need, quote unquote, need all of that income, you don't want to take that money out. Like, why do I have to take this out? I don't need this for extra income. Maybe I have pensions, maybe I have good Social Security, and I just don't need that income. Well, again, the government's making you take it out, so you do have to pay it. However, if you're charitably inclined and you like to give to qualified charities, which a qualified charity is pretty much any 501c3. You can always look that up to make sure they are a nonprofit organization. But again, most of your churches and most big charities are going to be that structure. So you can give up to $105,000 in 1 year. That may not be any of you out there, but even if it's $5,000, $1,000, $10,000, but you can give to your church or to a charity, and it counts towards your RMD. You don't pay tax on it. The charity doesn't pay tax on it, and the IRS doesn't get any tax revenue, but it checks the box for you to give that you have taken your required minimum distribution. You don't have to give all of your RMD to a charity. You can give a portion of it and then take some of it home. So let's say your required minimum distribution is $40,000 and maybe you only need like 25 of it. Okay. If you want, you can give the remaining 15,000 to a church and it counts toward that $40,000. You took out 25,000 for yourself. You got to pay taxes on the 25, federal and state. Then the extra 15 you give to a charity, that gets you to that $40,000 mark. And the IRS says, yep, they've taken $40,000 out, but 15,000 went to a charity or a church. You didn't pay tax on it. IRS didn't receive any tax revenue, and the church or charity did not pay any tax on it. So, if you want to hear more about it, please contact us, reach out to us, talk to your specific advisor that you work with. But yeah, it's a huge planning opportunity for those of you who are charitably inclined. And again, if those of you like myself, who is not 70 and a half years of age, it's talking points. Well, it's my job. But if I wasn't an advisor, it's talking points maybe to your parents who are of age, who are taking required minimum distributions, and maybe they've had these conversations before. They complain about paying taxes on the required minimum distribution. Well, here's kind of a way to avoid that. So, and I mentioned in an episode 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I didn't go into more specifics in detail, and I wanted to today. So, again, reach out to us, ask us questions about this. If you have any, again, I don't care what age you are. If you work with us, it's a question to be asked, and it's a question that we can answer for you. So good, big planning opportunity to take advantage of. Let us know if you have any questions. Again, everyone have a great week. Again, we are coming up on tax time. We're about a month out for those of you who file on time, if you will. Nothing wrong with any of you who file extensions at all. But again, if you want to get 2024 traditional or Roth IRA contributions, they need to be in by the end of this month because Schwab gets inundated with these requests. And so they can't guarantee that they'll be in before that tax filing day of April 15th. So let us know if we need to do that for you. Again, all the best. Have a great weekend. See you next week.